I'm Colin McNichol. I'm the product manager for SP Marketplace's Employee Hub Intranet in a Box product. In this video, we're going to briefly look at how you can brand up your site with your company logo and your corporate colors, change the theme, and we can also amend the promoted links web parts so you can show a different color coming through in the background. To be able to make these changes, you need to be a site owner or a site designer. You'd click on the gear icon here, and we're looking at the change the look option. Within that menu, you can see we can change the theme, which is the overall color scheme. You can also change the header, and that's also where you'd be able to change your logo. You can also amend the types of navigation you use and whether or not you show a footer and what's on it. Today we're interested in our logo, and scroll down, you can see this is where you have the option to change your site logo. You just click on change and you would have a pre-prepared logo file for your company in the correct format. If you wanted to show through, if you want the background to show through, you'll need a PNG file with transparency like we have here. To change the colors, if you click on the theme option, you can see here we're using a teal theme, and there's a variety of color schemes available from Microsoft. We normally advise using these because they've been properly designed so that various elements will use the main color and different shades so that everything shows nicely on the screen. Okay, so if we wanted to change, say for example, our company used, say, a blue color like this. If we change to the blue theme, you can see that this automatically changes all the elements, and this will happen on all the pages. This is completely non-destructive, so if you don't like a particular theme, you can just switch back to a different one. Okay, let's select the blue theme now, and I'll also show you how you can change the colors in our promoted links web part. If we edit the page, you'll see that within the promoted links web part we have some settings that you can amend, and within these one of them will be to use the default SharePoint theme or not. We're currently using the default theme, so that means that blue color shows through on the background. If we choose to use a different theme, maybe our company uses two different shades of blue, and we can select, say, darker blue color for our tile background. And if you know the exact, you can select from this color picker here, or if you know the exact hex value of your brand colors, which your marketing department should do, you can type it in directly here. And if we republish the page, you can see that we now have our promoted links tiles showing in a different shade of blue, and we've changed our teal theme into our blue theme.
News items are a great way to keep staff up to date with what is happening within their department, the organization as a whole, and even the industry sector and wider economy. News items can also be used to highlight successes of individuals or departments, promote strategic plans, and remind staff about standards, policies, and processes that are important to the organization. The news web part can be used on any SharePoint page. We use it here on the Employee Hub homepage, but it also appears on other pages. Place it anywhere you want to display a news feed in one of its many display configurations. Now let's create a news item. If you are a content manager or administrator, you can click on the Add button below News. Here you have two options: News Post and News Link. First, we'll add a news link. The news link configuration box on the right side of the page will prompt for the web address of the page that you want to create a new link from. This could be a SharePoint page on your site or any page on the web. In this instance, we're linking to an industry site that has a monthly roundup of news stories in our sector. If the page is properly formatted with Google search tags, you will be able to see a thumbnail image, a page title, and a description of the page. Often this will be good enough for your news post, but you can change any of these to your own preferences. When you are happy with your news link, just click on Post and you will see your new post appear at the top of the news feed on your page. It really is that simple to create a news item link from any web address. Now let's create the other type of news item, a news post. A news post is a special type of web page that differs slightly from normal SharePoint pages you might create. The main differences are that a news post page is optimized for display in email, so the selection of some web parts are excluded. The other key difference is that whereas you would publish a normal page for news post pages, the process is called send and post. That means you can publish your news post to your intranet news feed, but you can also optionally send it as an email at the same time. Let's see how this works. The first thing that you will notice after clicking on the new post link is that you will be presented with some news templates. These are pre-configured designs to help speed up the process of creating new pages. A few basic templates are provided by Microsoft, but if you click on the Saved on the Site tab, you will see templates that you can add to the site. Your SP Marketplace Employee Hub product comes with some templates that we have designed and created for you. These are ready for you to brand up and customize for use with your own intranet. These page templates typically include several different news layout pages to meet different requirements. In this example, we're going to use our People Recognition News template where we celebrate promotions, significant work anniversaries, and similar news. Once you have selected the template you want to use, go ahead and click on the Create Post button. Now your new templated news item has been created as a new page. You will see that this is pretty much like editing any other SharePoint page. You can add web parts, edit sections and text, and use all the tools that you would normally have available. For this demo, we have already pre-populated our news stories and images, so we just need to give our news post a title and we will be ready to post. When you click on the Post and Send button, the next screen looks a little different from when you publish a standard SharePoint page. You will see an email screen that looks very like the Create New Email screen in Outlook. You don't have to send out news posts as emails, but often you will. So this is a convenient way to include sending an email notification in your workflow. You can see that news post pages are nicely formatted for display in Outlook, so this is one more way you can help spread your news. You can send the email to individual email addresses and/or distribution groups as would be the case for normal emails. You can also edit the subject line and enter a message in the body of the email message if you want. When you have entered the recipient email addresses or groups and have finished any editing you need, you have several options. You can send the news post as an email now. You can send it as a test email to your own email address to check the formatting, or perhaps get approval before you send it out. Another option is to skip email sending altogether by clicking on the Skip button. Not every news post will be worth sending as an email, and remember that one of the reasons for your Employee Hub will be to cut down on the number of emails that are clogging everyone's inbox. Whichever option you select, the news item will be posted and it will appear in the news web parts where it is configured to display. Clicking on the link in the news web part will jump to your new post page and display the news post that you created using the People Recognition News template. Now that you have seen how to create news links and news posts, let's take a quick look at some of the configuration options for presenting news items on your Employee Hub web pages. Edit the page on which you are displaying a news web part, then select the news web part and click on the Properties icon. On the right side of the page, you will see the configuration options that help to make the news part so useful on your Employee Hub pages. First, you can select the source site or sites from which news will be collected. This could be just your Employee Hub page, but you can also select from other sites that may be connected to this hub site. A recent innovation is Recommended for Current User, which uses AI to help target news items that will be relevant to the logged-on user. The layout options allow you to display news in a number of formats using lists, images, tiles, or even a carousel. You can adapt this to fit with the design of your page depending on how much space you have available or how much prominence you want to give to your news feed. You can also constrain the size of the news feed by limiting the number of items that are shown on the news web part. There are also options to filter news items by search terms. So, for example, if you included the word sales in the title of all your sales news posts, you could create a news feed for a sales page that only contained news items about sales. If you have security groups configured, you can also target the news web part to specific audiences, so it would only be seen by those in the specified groups. You can even organize the order that news items display. This is a great way to pin a news item to the top of the list for a period to make sure all users see it when they visit the site. SharePoint news pages and links are powerful tools in your Employee Hub configuration. Maintaining current news feeds and making your intranet the first place to go for the latest company news are key success factors for any Employee Hub project. The news web part provides many options for displaying your news feeds to the right audience in attractive and engaging ways that enhance communication and add value to your Employee Hub. Being able to communicate to all employees across the organization is one of the key benefits of a well-designed intranet. With SP Marketplace's Employee Hub, you get a variety of pages designed to show off your news items to relevant audiences and pre-designed news templates, which speeds up the process of creating news and keeping the flow of news up to date. While your SharePoint Employee Hub is a place to communicate with all your employees and to help them find the tools and information they need to do their jobs, The Employee Hub also provides ways to target individual employees and groups so that you can help them focus on their personal and team objectives. The My Workspace pages in your SP Marketplace Employee Hub use the latest features in SharePoint together with SP Marketplace's custom web parts to help you create pages with content personalized to and targeted at the logged-on user. The My Links web part allows a user to select the links to show from a list that has been pre-configured by an administrator. A typical user might want to display some Microsoft 365 apps like Outlook, Word, or Excel. These are all useful applications, but different users use different tools, so one size doesn't fit all. Someone in the social media marketing team might want to link to a different set of applications so that they have one-click access to the social media sites they need. Meanwhile, the financial controller might want shortcuts to banking applications, currency rates, and their favorite spreadsheets. Someone working in HR, on the other hand, might frequently use an external payroll application and the company job board, so they might add these to their My Links shortcuts. Staff often use their personalized My Workspace page in Employee Hub as their homepage since it contains all the key links and information they need to start their working day. Other personalized elements on this page include the news feed, which uses AI to select news items to display to the logged-on user. Factors considered include the user's department, the colleagues they typically work with, and the projects that they are working on. This is a great way to ensure users are seeing relevant news items and aren't distracted by a stream of news about other areas in the organization. The My Sites web part displays SharePoint sites commonly visited by the logged-on user, so you are only one click away from the sites you need. My Recent Docs shows the documents you have been working on most recently, whether Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoint presentations, PDFs, or OneNote notebooks. It's a great time saver to have this readily to hand. Below the fold, the What I'm Working On section shows the files most recently created or modified by the currently logged-on user. For most knowledge workers, this means you are only a click away from your current work and there is no time wasted searching in OneDrive or document libraries to find the files you need. Another great time saver and boost to productivity. Perhaps the most exciting recent development in personalized content is the Viva dashboard. If enabled in your organization, you can configure dashboards that contain tiles to show the logged-on user's tasks, events, news, OneDrive files, and other content in a visually attractive display format that works well on devices with different screen sizes. So this is particularly useful for mobile-first users or anyone who is away from their desktop or laptop computer. Thanks for taking the time to watch this short video about personalized content in our Employee Hub, Intranet in a Box. We hope this has given you an insight into how you might use personalized content within your Employee Hub to help engage your users, add value to your intranet, and improve productivity throughout your organization. Document management is one of the core strengths of SharePoint, so it is no surprise that it features prominently in the SP Marketplace Employee Hub. Document Central is where we showcase the main document library for the Employee Hub and provide a number of ways to view, filter, group, and sort the files in the library so that users can quickly find what they need. You can get to Document Central using the Promoted Links tile on the Employee Hub homepage, or through the navigation menu you will see on every page of the Employee Hub site. On the Document Central page, you will see three main elements. On the right side of the page, you'll see a vertical section that shows the most recent files that have been added to the library. On the left side, you will see the SP Marketplace Promoted Links web part that allows you to jump out to individual documents, other document libraries, or any content with a web address. Now let's look at the main site library, which is where you would find the files and documents you want employees to access. In this library, you would normally upload read-only documents that you want employees to be able to see and use. The default view for the Document Central library shows thumbnails of the documents, which is often a good way to identify specific files. But we typically use several different views to manage, filter, sort, and group files. If we switch to a list view, you can see that in addition to the file names, there are columns that contain descriptive data about the various documents. This is known as metadata, and it is a powerful way to help organize and manage files. Here you can see that we have used a department metadata column so that we can assign a document to one or more departments. Similarly, we have also used a document type metadata column to allow documents to be classified as policies, certificates, presentations, research papers, specifications, etc. Metadata options can easily be configured by administrators to suit your particular business. Using metadata, you can create a number of views to show, for example, different types of documents or perhaps documents belonging to a particular department. Here you can see we have a view that uses the department metadata to view only documents flagged as belonging to the Human Resources Department. This is where you might find things like the company code of conduct, policies for booking leave, details of pensions or other employee benefits. In another view, we use the document type metadata to display only documents that have been classified as research or white papers. This is where you would find all the latest research papers and presentations about solar panels and green energy which are relevant to our Radiant Solar staff. You can see how metadata allows you to create a number of custom views that can be used to present your documents in the way that is most appropriate for your target audiences. In addition to presenting documents in different ways using views, the SP Marketplace Promoted Links web part is a powerful tool to help employees find what they want with a single click. This is a good way to link to your most popular content, the documents you want employees to focus on, or to highlight additional resources they may find useful. Here we have created a tile that opens the Radiant Solar Employee Handbook with a single click. We know that it is a popular document that many users will want to see, so by giving it a dedicated tile, staff can quickly find the employee handbook without wasting time searching. We've already looked at views in the main library, but did you know that you can create a tile in the SP Marketplace Promoted Links web part that will take you directly to a view? We want our staff to be able to quickly find and read our policy documents, so we created a Promoted Links tile that will take them straight to a filtered view showing all our policies. Our HR department tells us they often get asked about the latest organization chart for the company, so we created a tile that links directly to the latest version of the document. Whenever HR makes changes, it uploads the latest version, so that employees can be sure that the version they see in Document Central is always the most accurate and up-to-date. Remember that you can have more than one document library on your SP Marketplace Employee Hub site. Here we link to an image library where we keep image files that our sales and marketing team use for the website, brochures, and other marketing material. Just like other document libraries, you can use metadata and create views to sort, filter, group, and manage the files the way you want. We hope this brief overview has given a taste of how the SP Marketplace Employee Hub can help you store documents in a secure, accessible location that can be a single source of truth for your organization. Using custom metadata, views, and promoted links, you can help your users to find what they need quickly and without wasting time scrolling through large libraries of files. Getting the structure of document libraries right can be difficult, but remember, we can help you design your libraries, metadata, and views to make the most of Document Central in your Employee Hub. Now we are going to take a look at SP Marketplace's custom targeted search web part that helps employees find the files they need, without wasting time wading through hundreds of search results or jumping between multiple document libraries. Like many features in Employee Hub, there are multiple entry points to find targeted search. You will see a menu link below the main menu resources link, but you can also access targeted search from a promoted link tile on the Doc Central page. Let's go to the Document Central page now and use the targeted search promoted link to get to the dedicated targeted search page. On the targeted search page, you can see that we have 3 instances of the targeted search part showing. One is for policies, one is for safety, and one is for human resources. Before we see targeted search in action, let's quickly step back and explain what is happening and how targeted search is different from normal searches in SharePoint. In a typical organization, files will be stored in many places. You might have several document libraries on your Employee Hub site, but there will probably also be document libraries in department sites. If you use Teams, there will be Team Sites libraries, and you may also have project sites or other places where files might be stored. The challenge that targeted search addresses is to allow you to group several document libraries together to allow a scoped search, only searching within the group of libraries that you have configured. In our example, one of our targeted search groups is policies. Here we have configured a group that brings together all the different locations where policies are stored. HR has a policy library, as do IT and the safety department. There are also document libraries stored elsewhere for supplier policies, recruitment policies, and compliance policies. By configuring all these libraries into a targeted search group, we can restrict searching to only these locations. So if we wanted to look for our company policy on export controls, when I enter my search term into the policies targeted search box, it will only look for policies in the libraries that have been configured in the policy search group. Because my search has been targeted only at policy document libraries, I only get a couple of results, and I can see that the first document looks like the one I wanted. If I open it up, I can see that I did get the right document, and the targeted search process was a lot quicker than trying to wade through dozens of irrelevant results or trying to remember the location of the document library where this policy had been stored. Let's take another example. I want to find out about the impact of AI on HR in our organization. I remember our chief people officer mentioning a study she had read about this, and I want to try to find it. I know IT and other departments will probably have lots of documents about AI in their libraries, but if I restrict my search to just the targeted group of HR document libraries, I can quickly find the document I want. This looks like the one I was after. And indeed it is. You can see how a well-configured targeted search page can be a real productivity booster, saving time and user frustration. It is also important to remember that targeted search observes all the security restrictions already in place through your SharePoint and Entra configuration. That means that even if a document library is included in a targeted search group, the logged-on user will still have to have permissions to see the contents. Employee directories are a common feature of a company intranet. The benefits of being able to quickly find contact details, job roles, and departments are clear, and SharePoint is well suited to presenting this information. Let's start by looking at a simple employee directory list. Here you can see we are showing the employee name, job title, department, and some essential contact details like an email address and telephone numbers. If you have multiple sites, you might also want to include an office location. As this is a SharePoint list, you can add columns for any employee-related information that you want to capture and display. Even though this is a simple list view, you can still organize your list by sorting, grouping, and filtering columns to make it easier to find what you are looking for. For example, here we are going to sort by department to make it easier to see all the employees working in each department. Now, we are going to group the list by office location. You can see how this displays the list of employees under a collapsible header for each location. If you only wanted to see employees from one or more locations, you can use the filter option on the office location column. Here we're going to filter our list to show only those employees in Australia, Hong Kong, and China. After you have selected and applied your filter options, you can see that the list display is restricted to those employees from the locations you selected. While a simple employee directory list might be suitable for some organizations, others may want to collect more information or display it in different ways. Here you can see a gallery view which displays employee details on a card with a photograph and some selected information like job title, department, and contact information. Cards and views are configurable so you can display information in the way that best suits your organization. In this example, we have included our SP Marketplace Promoted Links web part on the page to allow a one-click display of employees in each of our key locations. These tiles can link out to new pages or views of the employee directory list filtered by the location you select. So if we click on the Australia tile, we can jump to a page that displays the employee directory in a gallery view but filter to only show employees based in Australia. Remember that the information you choose to display is highly configurable. In this view, for example, we are also showing the employee's line manager and a summary of skills they have. Your SP Marketplace consultant can help you design your employee directory to suit your business needs. Now that we have looked at a number of ways of displaying employee details on your employee hub using SharePoint lists, there is one other option we can provide that you may want to consider. This is our custom employee directory application that is linked to your Active Directory. Note that the custom AD employee directory application is a paid optional extra that can be used in your employee hub product, but is not included in the standard package. The SP Marketplace custom AD employee directory application pulls data from your Active Directory and presents it in an attractive format with a slick user interface that is designed to make finding the right people simple and intuitive. You'll notice that there is an alphabetic filter option across the top of the page. So with one click you can drill down to employees whose family name begins with that letter. The other search, sorting, and filtering options are displayed on the side panel. Here you can enter a search term, select a sort order, and filter by location, department, and/or job title. In this example, we are showing only employees for a selected location. While in this case, we have included a search term and restricted the search to 3 departments in the organization. When you select an employee to expand their card, you will see some additional details like clickable contact icons, location, department, and even links to colleagues in the same department. There are many ways to present employee information in your SP Marketplace Employee Hub, and there will be different requirements for different organizations. Your SP Marketplace consultant will help you design an employee directory that best meets your needs. Thanks for taking the time to watch this short overview video about presenting employee directory information in your Employee Hub. A frequently asked questions page is a common feature on Employee Hub. Here we're using collapsible sections to try to answer common questions from staff. The importance of a good quality FAQ page shouldn't be underestimated. Every question that can be answered here is one fewer phone call or email to HR or IT, or one less interruption of the work of colleagues. Many organizations use technical language, industry jargon, or internal shorthand. That's why a glossary of terms, abbreviations and acronyms is a useful addition to an Employee Hub site. This is especially useful for employees who are new to the organization and may not be familiar with all the technical jargon. Training and education are important for every business these days, and your Employee Hub is a great way to support your training department and to provide staff with access to essential training and career development opportunities. This could mean linking out to your third-party learning and development application or connecting with internal training resources.
Et n'oubliez pas qu'il n'y a rien qui vous empêche de publier des pages SharePoint dans plus d'une langue. Si votre organisation fonctionne dans plus d'une langue, votre Employee Hub peut toujours fonctionner pour tout le monde.
Your Employee Hub pages don't have to be in English. You can maintain pages in multiple languages and provide local content for users in different countries. Recruitment plays a part in every organization, and you will probably want to incorporate jobs information in your Employee Hub. Your recruiting team will tell you that some of your best hires are internal candidates, and it is important for staff to know about opportunities that may be available. Providing access to job vacancies might be as simple as linking to jobs posted on your company LinkedIn page. If you use an applicant tracking system, there may be an open jobs page you can link to for staff to view current vacancies. Your recruiting team might even have a dedicated SharePoint jobs page you can link to, and perhaps use Microsoft Forms to submit applications directly. With SharePoint and Employee Hub, there are many options available. All organizations want to protect their brand assets and make sure everyone is using the correct colors, logos and other graphic elements so that your brand is consistently represented for screen or print. In Employee Hub, your marketing team can host an image library, Word and PowerPoint templates, and the company branding guidelines, providing one place for all staff to find the right assets for the right application every time. It can be daunting for new employees joining the organization and trying to get to grips with who is who within the organization and even within your new department. The Employee Hub is a great place to create a space for onboarding new employees, perhaps with a welcome video from the leadership team, information about company values and links to FAQs, key policy documents, and even practical information about the area and local facilities. Well-designed onboarding pages can help welcome newcomers and get them up to speed as quickly as possible. Supporting the mental and physical well-being of your employees is an important part of the modern workplace. Your Employee Hub is a great place to highlight well-being benefits that you offer for employees, and pages can be built around accessing internal and external sources of information and help for those who need it. Finally, don't forget the social aspects of work. The Employee Hub is the ideal place to keep everyone up to date with team-building events, company clubs and societies, volunteering and charity activities, and the achievements of staff outside of work. These pages are great for employee engagement and help to remind us that there is more to life than just work. SharePoint is a powerful and flexible platform in your Microsoft 365 tenancy, but with that power it also has a degree of complexity and can be difficult to administer. SharePoint admins will be familiar with the forest of menu items you need to wade through to get to find the right settings to get things to work the way you want. The SP Marketplace Employee Hub is designed so that you don't have to be an IT or SharePoint expert to be able to manage and administer your intranet. Let's see how our admin pages and tools help regular users manage Employee Hub. The intuitive admin dashboards give you instant access to site controls. On the application admin page you can manage permissions, site branding, and navigation from one place, making setup fast and straightforward. So if you need to change the site logo, just click on the button and you are there. Need to adjust the regional settings? Click and go. And if you were wondering how to configure the tiles on our promoted links web part that appears across the site, these are all available at the click of a button on the application admin page. Tiles on the admin site can link to native SharePoint or jump out to third-party analytics tools, so you can see at a glance how your Employee Hub is performing, which pages are getting the most attention and which documents are being accessed most frequently. The admin support page is where you can raise a ticket on the SP Marketplace support system and gain access to our support portal, which contains a variety of training materials on our products as well as SharePoint and Microsoft 365 learning resources. There is also a link to record changes to your Employee Hub site using a simple form which will record all your updates and customizations in a changelog list. This is of great value to your own support team and ours if you need them. Content managers are the people who create news pages and links, upload files to libraries, create and manage events pages, and make sure content is refreshed and up to date. The dedicated Content Managers page makes it easy to create and manage news items, create email newsletters, and manage events. With Employee Hub's simple tools for admins and content managers, your team can spend more time creating content and engaging users and less time managing the site.